A leadership crisis at FiatChrysler after the chief executive was forced to step down over the weekend. Now, in New York, the shares of FiatChrysler closed lower, just off nearly 2%, following two resignations. First of all, Sergio Marchionne, who quit after 14 years at the helm, apparently due to declining serious grave health issues. And the head of the Jeep division is now running the company. Mike Manley has to replace both himself and also the head of FiatChrysler Europe, who quit this morning. Rebecca Lindland is the executive analyst at Kelley Blue Book, joins me from Stamford in Connecticut. Good to see you as always. We do need to pass this quite carefully. First of all, let's begin with Marchionne. And I mean, it's very sad that we have to talk in such terms, but the understanding is that we're talking about grave illness here.
Yes, we are. And that it's important that the listeners understand and the viewership understands that he was basically forced to resign because he became gravely ill on Friday evening. And Saturday, the board met and really kind of de facto put him into a position where they know he cannot return to the company. But my understanding is that he is gravely ill in a hospital in Zurich, Switzerland. So so they've asked Mike Manley to take over. As you said, he has been running Jeep really very masterfully and also ran pickup trucks. So he's well positioned.
Has he taken over? I mean, obviously, Marchionne's not coming back in that sense to the job. But has Manley been given the job, or is he taking it on a temporary basis whilst the search is underway?
Initially, there was some confusion about whether this was just an interim position, but now we've read that he is now given the position and they are not conducting a search. Manley was one of the top 3 contenders for this position, and so but the transition was supposed to happen in April of 2019, which is why there was already a plan in place.
The decision of head of Europe to go, we're hearing, is because he didn't get the top job. I mean, look, that's not unique. That does happen when people don't get the top job, you're affected. But I can't help feeling there's a sour taste here that he's gone so quickly at a time when the company is in crisis. He could at least wait a couple of weeks to help the new man out.
This is why I love being on with you, Richard, because that was exactly my thought. It's a bit egregious, I think, because of the circumstances with which Manley has been assigned. This is a total shock. Marchionne, was in relatively good health. He had shoulder surgery a couple of weeks ago, and then had very massive, grave complications. So I agree with you. I was very, it didn't sit well with me, really, that Altavita would just resign like this. It's not unusual, but I thought it would have been a professional gracefulness if he had stayed. And
now let's talk about, so Manley has to replace himself, head of Jeep. And he has to replace the head of Europe. But he's been at the top of the company for some time, so one's not expecting strategic change of direction, are we?
No, I don't think so. Somebody asked me recently if we thought that they were going to tear up the 5-year plan that was revealed in Italy at the beginning of June, where I was there to hear it. I don't anticipate Manley making those kinds of changes. He is very much a loyal lieutenant to Marchionne, and what he really needs to do is execute on Marchionne's plan. He was very integral there. He was right up there with Marchionne, with John Elkann, also the head of the company. So I think that Manley's face and reputation precedes him.
Finally, let's talk about the Elkann family. I once interviewed John Elkann many years ago in Italy. Do they still play much of a role? Are they still involved on a daily basis?
Well, John Elkann is, when you have a leader as dynamic and strong and successful as Marchionne, you're going to let him run. So I think that maybe we'll see a little bit more involvement as they reassign. Keep in mind, too, that Marchionne had 5 or 6 other titles within the family of foundations. So they've now had to put different CEOs in place at each of these different
Right.
different companies. So I think that he will be involved during these transition.
Good to see you as always up in Stamford, Connecticut. Thank you for joining us.
Likewise.